Zacks Know Your Options, a weekly overview of unique option strategies and ideas designed to help you beat the market no matter which direction it's going. More time or less? That is the question this week on Know Your Options. It's all a question to me, and so I'll just go right over to Kevin Matras, who's our top options expert here, and find out, is this a Shakespearean quote or what?
You know, when people read my articles, they normally, get me confused with Shakespeare, so I figured the title was appropriate.
Okay.
No, in all seriousness, I think the title is appropriate because when people are buying options, I know they really do struggle with how much time they're supposed to be purchasing. And, aside from determining if you're going to buy a call or if you're going to buy a put, I think deciding how much time to get really is a critical element when picking which ones to buy. And the reason this is true is because even though options have a tremendous advantage when you use them in your portfolio, if you run out of time, all of those advantages disappear. And oftentimes the difference between a profit and a loss can come down to just a couple of weeks. So you want to make sure you have enough time in your trade so, the time doesn't run out. Because if it does, game over.
So we'll have to now call you the Bard of the Options Boardroom.
Yeah, there we go.
Is that another title behind his name?
Nice.
All right, so you've got a unique way of explaining this concept
right.
this week. I've never seen it explained this way before, but that doesn't mean anything.
It's a very cool illustration. And first off, let me begin by saying that as a rule of thumb, when you're going to be buying options, I believe buying more time is better than less. Now, when I go through this illustration, I do want to say that I did not invent it. I'd love to take credit for it, but I read this a long time ago, and when I did, I thought it was a very, very unique way of illustrating the kind of financial sense it makes to buy more time. And there's a lot of other benefits as well, but we're going to get into it in just a second, but we're going to use Amazon as an example, and let's start this off by looking at 3 different kinds of options.
All right.
So check this out. Let's say you have a November 90 call at a premium of $7.20, and that has 8 weeks of time on it. Then you have a January 90 call at $9.20, that's the premium, and let's say that has 16 weeks of time on it. And then you have an April 90 call at a premium of $12.15, and let's say that has 29 weeks of time. Now, if you are bullish on a stock, you are probably thinking the stock is going to move up right away, and you might be right, but what if it doesn't?
Exactly.
The problem, like we had said before, if you think that you may now have to wait around a little bit longer than you had expected, that additional time is really going to come in handy. Now again, it's important to realize that when you're buying an option, not only do you have to be right on the direction, you also have to be right on your timing. In other words, you need to see the stock do X, move X amount between when you purchased that option and before expiration. And I believe too many people skimp on the amount of time, and that is why they usually don't have the kind of success they hope to have when they're doing their options. So in my opinion, when in doubt, you should buy more time, and I believe it always makes good financial sense.
All right, let's get to the unique part of this illustration and see the payoff.
All right, let's take a look at these options again. Check this out. If you have a November 90 call at a premium of $7.20, and that has 8 weeks of time on it, what you want to do is you want to divide that premium, $7.20, by 8 weeks. That equals 90 cents per week. Essentially, you're paying 90 cents for each week of time you purchased. Now let's go to the January call. The January call at a premium of $9.20, that has 16 weeks of time on it. So again, the premium of $9.20 divided by 16 weeks, that means you're paying only 57.5 cents for each week of time that you've purchased. Then the last one is the April 90 call at a premium of $12.15. That has 29 weeks of time. So if you were to take $12.15 divided by 29 weeks, that means you're paying roughly 42 cents per week. What's interesting is that this illustration shows that the April call with the most amount of time is the better value because You're paying 42 cents per week for that one as compared to 57 cents per week for the other one, or even 90 cents for the first illustration. So not only are you paying less for each week of time that you get a chance to hang on to that option, right? It's also going to serve you well because it gives you a greater opportunity to see the stock move in your direction because you have a longer amount of time to see that come to fruition. Moreover, people who trade options know that time decay is something that you always have to fight as well. And time decay really works against you the most between 45 or starts accelerating within 45 to 30 days prior to its expiration. So having the additional amount of time prior to even getting into that critical time decay period, I believe is extremely important, which will turn the odds in your favor as well. Moreover, too, getting to this time decay point, if you find yourself needing more time and you see that you now only have maybe 45 days or 30 days prior to expiration, simply roll out of that option, buy more time, and this way you're going to be able to avoid that critical red period, that period where you're going to see the option really, really work against you. And I think that that's always a real benefit. But I think this is a unique way to put why getting more time really does provide value and makes financial sense.
I never really looked at it that way before.
It's a very cool illustration, and people should really take that to heart. Also, too, there's another key element to picking the right option, and that is which strike price to get. So next week, as a part 2 to this, we're going to cover that one, and we'll have a unique way of demonstrating that as well.
All right, more information to help you know your options with Kevin Matras. I'm Terry Ruffalo.